All right, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How we doing? Get these lights on. Apple, yeah, IWM's been great, Bob. Yep. Apple, I'm actually really considering Apple today as a swing trade. Considering it, definitely watching it. Welcome back, everyone. How we doing? We got the new, look at these. The new golf polos. TTL. Gonna wear this out to the course soon. Well, hat action. Man, we are ready to hit under par, man. I got a new golf video coming out. It's gonna be really fun. Gonna keep working on that idea. We're swagged out. All right. Morning, Chef. Morning, Margin. All the familiar faces, as always. Yeah, I probably should get a white one, right? The dark is probably gonna get too hot. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Under par dreaming. Yeah, I wish. I wish, man. All right. Well, today's a half day on the markets, so let's get in, let's get out. Non-farm employment this morning, some data on the docket to watch in the pre-market, and then we just got scouting. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Nvidia, boom, baby. Nvidia yesterday, great trade, breaking retest 155. That's where I made my money yesterday. So it's been a great start to July. The first 2 days, very, very good. Well, I guess first 3 days. Well, actually, no, 2 days. Monday was the second, right? Monday was the first. Yeah. So, am I crazy? Why do I feel like it's only 2 days? Yeah. Okay. Tuesday, Wednesday, and today's the third. Okay. So the month started on Tuesday. Sorry about that. First 2 days of July been great so far. Break and retest on Nvidia, and then the downside on AMD. Those are the only two trades we've taken. So far so good. Today looking strong again. Yesterday we were thinking about some downside, right? We talked about some downside potential, but what was our caveat? Our caveat was if the previous day lows hold, then we're not shorting the market. And yesterday off the open, you saw the previous day lows hold very strong. So all the downside watches I had were pretty much instantly evaporated, and we looked to trade the upside. And we saw the Nvidia hold. We took that, and very, very nice. So once again, there is something that is very important in trading, right? You can create different analyses, different theses, whatever that is, the plural of thesis. But you have to adapt to what the market's showing. And yesterday, the only way we could short is a break under previous day low. That did not happen, and the market ripped right off that level. So very nice action today. Some very interesting pullbacks that we've gotten, guys, on tech. Very interesting pullbacks. Apple, Meta, Amazon. 3 really interesting pullbacks today that I would be 100% paying attention to. So that's going to be my main focus today, to see what those do. Happy 4th. Thank you, David. Appreciate that, man. Why didn't I like Tesla yesterday? I'm just not going to fuck around with Tesla, Margin, to be honest, man. That stock is it's too much for me lately. I just don't want to deal with it. I'd like to just trade the very clean semiconductor, grinds higher. Tesla's just a wild beast lately. I didn't know whether that whole move was going to get sold off into. I didn't know if it was going to go straight up. You just never know with that stock sometimes. But, definitely some opportunity off the previous day high hold. Definitely in hindsight looked good. But, yeah, at the moment I just didn't trust it on the intraday. Just wasn't really interested. Just not interested. Plus, NVIDIA was just so much cleaner to me. So, one and done for me. Not going to try to trade everything. Quote of the day. True self-discovery begins right there. True self-discovery begins where your comfort zone ends. Got to get outside your comfort zone, maybe in trading, but maybe also in life. A very important quote. True self-discovery begins where your comfort zone ends. Think about that, right? You got to get outside of the comfort zone, whatever it might be, whether it is through trading, right, and taking your risk, taking your shots, accepting uncertainties, or just in life, right? Where I am today would not be possible if I stuck inside my comfort zone. I just sat inside all day and did nothing and went to college, got a job, didn't care to, pursue dreams. Get outside the comfort zone, man. That's your quote of the day. That's where true self-discovery is found. And very, very, I like that quote today. That was one that popped up, and I felt very connected to that one. So hopefully that gives you some inspiration, some motivation for your trading and also just for your professional life. So with that said, happy 4th. Let's jump in. Wrong button. Sorry about that. This is the button. All right. So, let's drag it all over. Let's get the chat up. Let's get OBS going here. Where the hell's my mouse? There it is. All right. So, today. Here we go. Why is there such a shadow on this side of my face? That's all right. So, today, NASDAQ futures. Got to pop the collar. I look like a little Italian guy with the collar popped. All right, so NASDAQ futures, very nice hold of those PDL, the 22,600. What a demand hold, right? These lows, look at that hold again. Unbelievable. Beautiful hold, beautiful hold, beautiful hold. Pretty much exactly what we talked about in the live stream, saying there's absolutely an opportunity of this holding and the downside not continuing, and that is exactly what the bulls did. They said, not so fast. I'm buying off these lows again. And anyone that did that had a beautiful day. So that is very nice. Now, today, we're above these previous highs here. We're back above these lows. We're back above these pre-market highs. And you can see we're just grinding above the 22.8 to 22,780. So today, in my opinion, as long as you're above 22.8, 22,780, this is a very strong market. I would honestly look for pullback longs into this level. I think this is probably the best opportunity today for the long side. I know it's a short day, so I'm not sure how aggressive you want to get, but if you're looking at levels today, I would definitely look for a pullback to this previous high and that 22.8, 22,780 as a long opportunity. That is definitely something I'd be paying attention to today. If we don't get that, you're probably just going to sort of move up into the 22,920, 930 supply highs, which is going to be a question mark, right? Do we get a rejection? Or is this the breakout into the weekend and we close the week at new highs, right? So for me, this is probably where you trade within today. Just being honest, it's a short day. Volume's probably very light. So I would assume you probably don't get too much outside of this zone. Unless we get a nice break and retest hold, man. Could be blessed by that today. We shall see. 22,920, 22,800, that's your zone today. Let's see if we can find a trade off either side. S&P 500, beautiful stuff here. Beautiful stuff. Here's your high. Look at these lows. Beautiful stuff. Break, retest, holding above previous highs. This is beautiful structure here on the ES. 6270. As long as you're above 6270, you are going higher. There's no question about it. Underneath 6270, you'll fail back to the 54 area, which is this little hold area from yesterday. Some of these previous highs from earlier in this week. If you do break under that 70, that's where you'll come back down to. Under that, you know, we still got this major demand below, huge demand below, you know, definitely a very strong spot. So for now, as long as you're above 6270, you look like you're rocking and rolling today, man. Unless this data screws something up, but for me, that looks pretty damn clean. On the SPY, I would really think a pullback to like this 619 is the best long, if I was to be honest. Except I don't know if you're going to get that because the ES might just rock and roll off this 6270 spot. Which is sort of like this 620, 620s, 619.70 area, right? Right in here. 619.75 to 620 area is sort of that same thing as that ES hold. It's not perfect, right? You can see it's a little bit discrepant here. You can see this area right here, the 619.75 and 620 is a little bit discrepant, right? It's not perfectly where the ES held there, right? So I don't really like that spot that much, but that is technically where that 6270 steps up. So I would just personally, I just watch the ES there. If the ES is holding 6270, then it's probably going to continue higher. Or the best pullback, in my opinion, is right here, 619, 619, 619. Pullback long, that would be a great spot to watch if we can get back to 619. That's a big question. NASDAQ futures, we already did that. Why am I going through it again? Did we? Okay, yeah, we didn't go SPY. SPY, okay, we didn't go QQQ. QQQ, same thing as the NASDAQ futures. You got 553 highs, and you got this 550 to 549 low. The 540, it's raining already outside, huh? Damn. The 549 reclaim yesterday was the perfect, I mean, that was it, right? Once you saw that, you knew it was over for the bears. 549, this low, that is the Monday double bottom low, right? That was also your rejection, right, on Tuesday. And take a look at 549 yesterday. I mean, 549 was probably, I mean, just a huge hold at 549. 549 being the exact Monday's lows. Look at that. Monday's lows, 549, 549, and yesterday on the dot, on the money, 549. Huge hold. So as long as you're above 549, 550 in the Qs, you are not going lower at this point, right? This is very, very big. Big holds here yesterday. Big holds above 550, grinding higher, 550, 549, 549, 550, right? This whole zone. Very strong area now. So if you get a pullback into this area, this would, in my opinion, be the best opportunity for a pullback long. If you can get another dip into this demand and then you see buying step up again, that would be the spot to watch, in my opinion. That also lines up very nicely with our NASDAQ 22.8 to 22.780, right? That's to me, that's the money spot today, right in here, if you can get a pullback. Now, of course, anything can happen. If you flip under 549, this fails, right? Anything can happen. So just be aware of that. If you do fail back under 549, this fails, right? If the NASDAQ flips back under this 780, this fails. So just be aware of that. Very important as you approach these highs as well, right? These are still some major highs up here that you are going to have to get a break and hold above to really get that breakout move, okay? IWM has been absolutely gorgeous. What did we say yesterday? I mean, on the money, it needs to hold above 217.50. That is exactly the low of day yesterday. So unbelievable IWM move yesterday, right off our key level at 217.50. Sick. Above this 220.60. So what's the move now? Right here, right? It's the same thing over and over again, guys. You break this high right here. What do you have to do? You have to come back to it, hold it for the next move. You break this high right here. What do you have to do next? Come back down to it, turn it into support for the next move, right? So what's your next trade on IWM? Pullback longs 220, right? Very clear, very clear. IWM's been hot. Dow Jones above 44.7. I'd still even like a pullback back to this 44.440 area right here. 44.400. I'd like to see a pullback back to these highs. Stuff's pretty clean out there today, no doubt. That's really it. Let's go to the SMH. The SMH, unbelievable move yesterday, and the reclaim over 275 yesterday was incredible. So 275 was the level we said, hey, we got to get back above this. That's this low here. Look at this 275 reclaim yesterday on the SMH. All morning, just sort of holding above 275. Beautiful hold above it, created that rip. Intraday, just absolute on fire on the SMH. Straight over this 278, straight over the 280s, right? Holding above the 280s now, and there's your all-time high tap on the SMH. All-time highs 283. That is SMH all-time high. So what do we look for today on the SMH? We look for a pullback long at 280. Can we get a pullback and a hold at 280 for more upside? I personally think it will be necessary to fill some of this get straight up move. I think probably the best trade would be around 278. If you draw out a fib boy, that's probably around the 50% retracement. That is actually exactly the 50% retracement. So yeah, that's very important. So right here, you can see 278. That would be the pullback long I'd look for. Let's see, right? That would be the best pullback long in my opinion. Fill some of this straight up move. Give a little bit of a 278 pullback. Let's see if that long can come in. If not, and it just holds 280, then yeah, might just continue. All right, so for individual equities, today I'm not interested in trading any zeros. I want to look to trade and set up some swings. That's really what I'm looking for. And there's some really interesting swing opportunities that I want to watch. Number one is going to be Apple. Apple has had a pretty beat down last few months. Earnings are approaching end of July, and I'm very interested in this continuation coming in. First of all, the weekly chart looks incredible. If you take a look at this weekly chart, you can see this is a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, hold on the weekly chart of these previous highs, previous double top high into very clear support. That gives me a lot of confidence that there is something trying to form here off this low. That is very, very interesting, and I want to trust this with time. Now, if I go out to the 4-hour chart, there's a few spots that I would look for. First of all, I need to get over 215. If I get over 215, I love this continuation. It's possible that you want to wait for that to break, but, up to you, right? Do you want to wait for this to break 215, or do you want to get this entry point a little bit lower? That's going to be your call, but 215 is going to be the level that needs to break. If 215 breaks, I think you quickly run to the 225, right? These highs right here. And I think after that, you quickly run to around this high here, around 240. So yeah, absolutely interested in trading Apple back through these low volume downside moves, right? Just straight down, straight down. I think if you can get this go, this can just go straight back up to match this high. Definitely interested. Big time watch. Yeah, big time watch for me. So you have this sort of gappy downside moves. These are all sort of just vertical downside moves. If we start building this strength back over 215, I would look for this shelf high, this high here, and who knows, Apple back to all-time highs. Could be possible. It's Apple. So I'm always going to play on the side of Apple figuring out a way to improve their company's value. And so I'm not going to bet against Apple on this weekly technical analysis hold. I'm pretty confident in this, so this is definitely something I'm watching for today. I don't want to let this opportunity pass by. I do not want to look back at this weekly chart and say, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't take a shot there. All right. If I look back at this weekly chart in like 3 months or maybe in like end of year and I see this, right? If I'm looking at this, I would be a furious person, right? That would really make me upset. So I'm definitely interested. I think risk is very clear. I think the opportunity is very much there. The other thing I would watch, or the other thing you would probably want to, how I'd set up my stop loss here is you probably want to see this thing hold over 208, to be honest, right? That's probably what I would look for. I'd probably want to see this hold over 208. That would be like sort of the level I wouldn't want to see break at this point. 208, really nice hold spot, right? This high right here. And we saw some very strong demand step up off that 208 yesterday, right? So I'd probably want to see this stay above 208. So your risk at this point is very small, down under 208, which I really, really like. So big watch today. Obviously, if you want to track that with me and see how I do it, man, join the Discord, come take the trade with us. So that's that. Meta is the other one. Major watch on Meta, man. Meta, big squeeze. We waited for the pullback. Pullback is coming in right into our 708, 703 area. Previous high, previous high, previous high, previous high. Break, retest. If this starts to consolidate here, I would be looking for this to go back higher. This is a beautiful break and retest long on a 4-hour key level. On the daily chart, you can see this is coming back into the daily 20, coming back into these highs. The only concern I have on Meta, which I like, the reason I like Apple slightly more, is that Apple's basically like right here, right? If you think about Meta versus Apple, Apple's here. Meta's at all-time highs. So, is it, do you trade Meta through the all-time high and just, trade that expansion, or do you trade the Apple catch-up move? That's a tough call. You could include yourself in both. But this is definitely a watch on Meta. Going to be very interested to see if this thing can hold this daily 20 today into end of week, and then see if I can set something up targeting back to that all-time high and then maybe through those highs. Amazon, very interesting here as well. Very similar setup. You can see Amazon, same exact 4-hour previous highs, break, retest, holding. If Amazon can hold above this 218, 217 zone, I think that looks great. Over 222 is where I'd get interested, right? If you can get a break and hold above 222, that would be my watch there. Keeping an eye on that. Google, beautiful hold of the daily 20, daily 200 yesterday. Don't like the risk reward here on Google just because it's right back up into these highs. So I'd probably want to wait for these highs to break, right? Or get another pullback into this demand zone. Interesting there. Snow still setting up, man. We've been talking about snow every day. Snow, you can see right here, previous highs. Here's your lows, daily 20 SMA. Still very interesting. Definitely keeping eyes on that one. Oracle did exactly what we were talking about on this live stream, and I just missed it. I can't believe I lost sight of this one. Look what Oracle did yesterday. Oracle did our exact pop, retest, and right, look at this. Beautiful on Oracle, 215, 220. What a pop out of that zone. Sort of gone, but maybe if we can get another pullback to this area, creates another opportunity. But Oracle really, really nice. Hood's been sick. Hood, a little bit cautious of being the $100 chasers here. So, I think Hood obviously will eventually go through 100, but it's going to be sort of stacked up for the short term. 94, 89, 90, and 85 are great opportunities on downside. I would be watching those. Over 99, and if we can hold above it, then I think you get your move. But you can see yesterday we did fail back under that 99, and once you did that, it sort of just sold off. So yeah, a little bit cautious of being too long into 99 here. There's probably a lot of people that are unloading at the $100 mark, right? It'll get through it eventually, but in the short term, it might have some turbulence. So pullback longs are still the right call there in my eyes. Tesla. So Tesla delivery numbers straight up, straight back down, held that 305 previous day high for a very nice opportunity back to the upside. I'm sort of interested in whether this rejects here. This is sort of interesting to me. It's this 320 and 20 SMA. It's sort of stalling out right here. I have a little YOLO. I put $1,000 on some Tesla puts that look like they're probably just going to be dead today. But I was sort of interested yesterday if we could fail this daily 20, fail these previous lows right here. You sort of got your break, retest, and potential rejection. But if the market's as strong as it is, it's probably not going to play out. But I would be interested to see what Tesla does here at 320. However, today, I'm not going to be looking for that. I'm just going to be focusing on Apple, Meta. I think these are where the money really is. Some of the semiconductors, Broadcom 268 right here, big watch there. Really nice hold at Broadcom 264. Shout out Chef. What a hold again, Chef, at that exact level. So Wednesday, yesterday, straight up off 264. Perfect, exactly what we talked about. 268, that would be your retest long level to look for today. If Broadcom can turn this high and this high into support today on a little pullback long, this would be a great risk-reward trade up into that 272 and then over 272, likely, and in my opinion, up to all-time highs. So Broadcom definitely on watch there, 268. NVIDIA, beautiful trade over 155 yesterday. We took a break and retest over this high right here at 155. This was the level we were talking about as, hey, if we get back over 155, you should look long on NVIDIA. And we did exactly that. So yesterday we were watching NVIDIA. We saw the hold over 155, and I took a long, right here. You can see right here. This was my long entry on this candle. It's actually right here on this candle around the 1040 or 1020 time frame. So here's your 155 level. Here's your break. Here's your pullback. Here's your candle retest. And you saw the buying come in. Entered that long, flag breakout, and beautiful trade. Held it into here. After I got out, obviously it ran a little bit extra, but very happy with this trade right here. Risk, reward, up to that high. Great trade. So today, I would be looking for NVIDIA again. If it can pull back to that level, that would be really nice. Back to 155, one of these right here. I would definitely look for that if it can do that. If not, you might just sort of run. You might just sort of run. AMD, a little bit concerning on this one. I don't really like this 140, 141 high, right? Here, 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 previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, turning into sort of a failure point. So a little bit cautious there on AMD. Could be a little bit of a lower high structure, right? So I'd probably need to get AMD through 141 here to really be interested in upside. If we can get through it, then I would watch it. Circle, yeah, what's it been up to here? Circle, yeah, Circle actually really nice pullback. Finally came back and filled that 165 move. Yeah, Chef, interesting, man. Hey, if you like it, I mean, risk reward is at its highest right now. It really is, right? Your risk would be under 165. Maybe under like, yeah, 165. I really don't hate that idea, Chef, right? This is sort of like, this is like when people forget about these names and then they pop and then everyone remembers about them again, right? So everyone knew about Circle here. Every Discord community in the world was talking about Circle here, right? And then I haven't heard, much, everyone, Circle's gone quiet, right? No one's really interested anymore. But guess what? There's going to be a day where Circle does this and everyone's like, holy shit, Circle's going again, right? So it usually pays to be early to that thought. So yeah, not bad, right? I would be interested. 165 area. Yeah, not bad. Could be interesting there. It looks like it needs to clear out this like 196 spot. If it can clear out this 196, that could be sort of interesting, right? Right here. I would say get it to clear out this 196. Over that, you probably get grooving again. Something to watch for sure. Nice pullback, nice daily pullback after this sort of straight up move. Maybe needs slightly more to the downside, maybe. It could, right? It could still need, maybe these highs back here at 120s. So can't count that out completely, Chef. So be careful on that, right? Can't completely count that out. Might still need sort of this 120 pullback area. But yeah, I'd be paying attention to this area here, these highs right here. Interesting. That would be nice. CRWV, yeah, a little bit sloppier. I would say CRWV. I think back here, to be honest, 127, that looks proper. All right, we got data in 2 minutes. What else are we going through today? Amazon, we talked about. Google, we talked about. Uber's just been stuck under that 94 high. Been waiting for that to do something. Netflix still hanging around near our retest level, which could really get interesting, right? Netflix is still sort of giving us the opportunity here. So slightly intrigued by Netflix, right? If we can get back over, I'd say like this 1300 high here, that could be sort of interesting right here. So I'm going to create an alert there. Could be something to watch there. MU has pulled back to this. It's actually quite a nice pullback on MU. MU pulling back to that daily 20. All right, look at that. This was our alert, 117, daily 20. Look at that daily 20 hold. Look at the daily 20 hold yesterday. Monster daily 20 hold. So yeah, I would definitely watch that. I would definitely watch that. Let's get our data here real quick, and then we'll continue. Press the like button. Damn. All right, hopefully this doesn't mess up our swing trades, man. Hopefully they don't get away from us. Meta's not really going up. Nvidia. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't get away from us too much. NASDAQ, okay, NASDAQ hit the highs. Okay, NASDAQ hit these highs, 22,920. 553. Okay, a little bit careful there. Right into our NASDAQ supply there. I'd like to see us get over that. Unemployment below estimation. Non-farm payroll is much higher than estimates. Okay. ES, good pop. A little bit careful with the NASDAQ rejecting this high, but let's see. I think it looks like it's holding up relatively well. I'm hoping these don't run away from us. Apple, I really want to get a good entry on Apple today, so going to keep an eye on this. Meta also, it's not reacting too much, so that's good. Ring the bell, please. Please ring the bell. Okay. NASDAQ right into that high. Let's watch that closely. 553 Qs. That's the level to break. 553 Qs. Let's see how we react off that. What else? I think that's really it. Palantir, yeah, Palantir 136, 135 is sort of messy. I'd be careful up there. 136, 135, right? Careful in this zone right here. I would really be careful into here. It's got to, for me, it's got to get back over 136. Create an alert above 136. That would be where I'd want to see us get back above there. So, gonna put an alert on that. That Netflix pullback might be the thing to watch as well, man. This Netflix pullback to 1260 in this daily 20 looks sort of interesting, right? Look at this. Look at this daily pullback. Netflix daily pullbacks into the 20 SMA create some great opportunities. Look at the daily 20, this entire ride higher on Netflix. So this possibly one of the top watches, Netflix. Apple, obviously, big watch here. Meta, daily, 708, 703. Watching that. Yeah, Meta's starting to sort of curl off that. I think that's it. All right, guys. I think we're going to get out of here early today. Oh, Coinbase, that's right. Coinbase MicroStrategy. How could I forget? How could I forget about that? 362. Coinbase. 362 Coinbase. Right there. 362, 362. Got to get above that on Coin. I'd be watching that 362. MSTR. Yeah, MSTR. Remember our weekly chart here? Huh? Look at this weekly chart. It's starting. It's starting. I wish I trusted MicroStrategy a little bit more. I wish I trusted it a little bit more, but maybe it's right to trust it. This high here at 404.42 has been very difficult to clear out. So I'm sort of just waiting for that to clear out a little bit. But man, is this sort of getting started, isn't it? It's like sitting, like look at these last two attempts over this high. They're just sort of nasty. Where did my thing go? Maybe like this 407 spot. It looks sort of like the 407. If we can clear out this, maybe we get that move. But it's just been sort of nasty, right? This is a nasty little move. Little straight up, straight down, straight back up. So obviously something's happening though, right? If you look at this, look at the volume down here. Look at the last 4 days of volume. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something's waking up. The beast is possibly awakening, right? Look at the volume all here compared to right here. So the beast is possibly awakening here. And it could be something to pay attention to, no doubt. ES, did we get through the highs? Did we get through the NASDAQ high? Whoops. Where's my charts? Whoops. NASDAQ high, we did. Okay. All right. Did we get through QQQ? We did. 553. So that's the watch today. Can we hold above 553? That's the watch. What's Bitcoin doing? It's going down off that. So sort of interesting. Could be a little bit of a concern for the crypto boys. All right, guys. Apple, Meta, Amazon. Big watches on these swings. Snow also watching that. Tesla. If it gets over 320, I would watch that over 320, but you got to be careful of some of this action to the left. Probably stay away from that one today. Just take my loss on the swing. All right, guys. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. 4-day weekend, pretty much. Half day today. Market closes at 1 o'clock. Make sure you remember that. Please press the like button. 2,300 people, 900 likes. Terrible. Less than half of you pressing the like button for free information every day. Sad. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great 4th of July. Have a great weekend. Keep all your fingers. You need your fingers for trading, guys. Please remember that. Fingers are very important for trading. Very important. You can't trade without a finger. Can't do it. I don't know how you would, to be honest. All right. Remember that. See you guys Monday.